6:34 on TMJ4 News today. With very few principal participants in Milwaukee, demonstrations you would typically expect at a political convention have been light. But we are seeing some signs of activity ramping up. Supporters of President Trump took to the streets Wednesday.
And tonight's coalition to march on the DNC will feature a local story that we have been following for weeks as well. Our Adriana Mendez joins us with what's happening on that front today. Adriana, good morning.
Well, good morning, Susan. Later today, that group will march from Red Arrow Park on these Milwaukee streets and then over to the Democratic National Convention site. Their message to lawmakers is to demand justice for those killed by the hands of police officers. Now, participating in today's coalition to march on the DNC is the family of Joel Acevedo. Acevedo was 25 when he was killed back in April. A Milwaukee police officer who was off duty at the time is now charged with his death. The family and protesters are hoping policymakers will hear their pleas for justice for Joel and others like him. Now, this is just one event today, but yesterday was an active day for protesters and rally members. We saw two small groups of protesters out on the streets. They marched from the suburbs to the DNC, calling for people to break their silence on racial inequality. The other, a small group of Bernie Sanders supporters, hung signs on security fencing to protest the DNC. Some protesters believe the party's progressive values aren't being prioritized in this election. But the biggest group we have seen during these past 3 days was a group of pro-Trump supporters. Yesterday, they tried to get their message across with an event that praised the president. More than 100 people, part of a group called Bikers for Trump, showed up out on the streets surrounding the Wisconsin Center. And with today being the last day of the Democratic National Convention, we can only anticipate we will see more protesters out on the streets tonight. That coalition to march on the DNC starts at 4 p.m. at Red Arrow Park. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Adriana Mendez, TMJ4 News.